The mining colony on Zareth 7 was supposed to be routine. Barbara had signed up for the 18-month contract, thinking it would be nothing more than extraction work, some decent pay, and enough isolation to forget about the mess she'd left behind on Earth. She never expected to die here. The explosion ripped through Section D without warning. One moment, Barbara was calibrating the thermal scanners, and the next, the world became fire and screaming metal. She hit the ground hard, her helmet cracking against the rocky surface. Through the ringing in her ears, she heard it, a high-pitched wail that cut through the chaos like a knife. A child. Barbara's vision swam as she pushed herself up. The facility was collapsing around her, support beams groaning under impossible weight. Through the smoke and debris, she spotted a small figure trapped beneath a fallen generator, no more than 3 feet tall, with scaled skin that shimmered iridescent blue even in the dim emergency lighting. One of the Velkari younglings. The mining company had hired their species for delicate extraction work, their small frames perfect for navigating tight spaces. This one couldn't have been more than 5 years old by human standards. "Damn it," Barbara muttered, forcing her legs to move. Every instinct screamed at her to run toward the emergency airlocks, to save herself. The structural integrity alerts were blaring. She had maybe 2 minutes before the entire section collapsed into the planet's volcanic core. She reached the child in seconds that felt like hours. The generator was massive, easily several tons, and it was crushing the youngling's leg. The child's large golden eyes locked onto Barbara's face, filled with terror and pain. "It's okay," Barbara said, knowing the child probably couldn't understand her. "I've got you." She wedged herself under the generator, planting her feet against the debris-strewn floor. Her muscles screamed as she pushed, her exosuit's servos whining at maximum capacity. The generator shifted an inch, then 2. The child whimpered, trying to pull free. Come on," Barbara growled through gritted teeth. Her vision was starting to blur, whether from the smoke or the exertion, she couldn't tell. Blood ran down her face from where her helmet had cracked. With a final, desperate heave, she lifted the generator just enough. The child scrambled free, stumbling toward the emergency exit. Barbara's strength gave out, and the generator crashed back down. But she'd done it. She turned to follow the child, but her legs wouldn't respond. Looking down, she saw the jagged piece of metal protruding from her side, buried deep. She hadn't even felt it pierce through her suit. "Run!" she whispered to the child, who had stopped at the doorway looking back at her with those impossibly large eyes. "Go!" The child hesitated, then fled as another explosion rocked the facility. Barbara slumped against the wall, watching her HUD flash critical warnings. Hull breach, life support failing, blood pressure dropping. At least the kid made it, she thought, as darkness crept in from the edges of her vision. That should have been the end. Barbara's eyes opened to soft light and the smell of something floral, almost like jasmine but sweeter. She wasn't dead. Somehow, impossibly, she wasn't dead. She lay in what appeared to be a medical bay, but not like any she'd seen before. The walls were alive with bioluminescent patterns, pulsing gently like a heartbeat. Advanced monitoring equipment hummed quietly around her, displaying readouts in a script she didn't recognize. And beside her bed, watching her with eyes like molten gold, sat a woman. No, not entirely a woman. She was humanoid, tall and statuesque, with features that would have been considered beautiful by any standard. But her skin was covered in fine scales that shifted between deep crimson and burnished bronze, catching the light like precious metal. Her hair fell in thick waves past her shoulders, black at the roots but fading to deep red at the tips. 2 elegant horns curved back from her temples, and when she leaned forward, Barbara caught sight of a long, powerful tail coiled around the base of her chair. A dragon woman. The term came to Barbara's mind unbidden, from old Earth myths and legends. "You're awake!" the woman said, her voice like silk and smoke. She spoke in perfect English, though her accent was unfamiliar. I was beginning to worry. Barbara tried to sit up, wincing at the phantom pain in her side. Looking down, she found herself in pristine condition. No wounds, no scars. Even the chronic pain from an old shuttle accident was gone. "The child," Barbara croaked. "Is the child—" "My daughter is alive because of you," the dragon woman said, and her eyes shimmered with something that might have been tears. "Lyra is safe. She's been asking about you every day for the past week." "Week?" Barbara's mind reeled. "I should be dead." The woman's expression grew solemn. "You were?" "For 3 minutes and 47 seconds your heart stopped. But my people, we have ways of honoring debts. You saved my daughter's life at the cost of your own. That kind of sacrifice demands repayment." She stood, and Barbara realized she was easily 6.5 feet tall. The dragon woman moved with a grace that seemed impossible for someone so powerful-looking. "My name is Sareth Velcaris, matriarch of the House of Emberwind. You are Barbara Chen, formerly of Earth, now under the protection of my house." Sareth's gaze was intense, burning with an emotion Barbara couldn't quite name. "You showed the courage of an ancient warrior, the heart of a mother. Such qualities are rare, even among my own people." Barbara's throat tightened. I couldn't leave her." "Precisely." Sareth smiled, revealing teeth just a bit too sharp to be human. "Humans, you confound the galaxy with your recklessness and compassion in equal measure. Any other species would have calculated their survival chances and fled, but not you, not your kind." She reached out, her scaled hand gently touching Barbara's shoulder. The contact was warm, almost hot. "You have honored my house with your blood and courage. In return, I offer you a place among us if you wish it, or passage to any world you desire with wealth enough to live in comfort for the rest of your days." Sareth's golden eyes searched Barbara's face. "But know this, you will always have the gratitude of the Velcari people and the friendship of the House of Emberwind." Barbara looked up at this magnificent, terrifying woman and felt something shift in her chest. On Earth, she'd been running from a life that felt too small, too broken. Maybe she'd found something worth staying for. "Tell me about your people," Barbara said finally. "Tell me about Lyra." Sareth's smile widened, revealing genuine joy. "As you wish, little warrior. As you wish." Outside the medical bay, a small blue face peeked through the doorway, golden eyes bright with hope and wonder, watching the human who had given everything to save her. And in that moment, Barbara Chen knew her life would never be routine again. End.